So over the weekend was Avatar: The Way of Water's second big week. It was the week that, you get a lot of these numbers in. It was also one of the biggest weeks for movies. We had a big winter storm, but still, gotta give it to Avatar. You managed to make at least $90 million over the last weekend. And I don't know how much it's going to be for Monday. I think it'll be pretty decent this Monday. It's sitting at a pretty decent number. Now, is it going to make it to the around $2 million it needs to make to break even? I don't know yet. That is still out of my prediction market. I don't know if it will, because it looks like it's going to make $1 billion. It looks like it will sit at $1 billion, but next weekend's going to be interesting, especially because it's New Year's Eve. Not a lot of people go to the movies on New Year's Eve. It's more of the time when people go out, drink, and have fun. Bring in the new year, as they say, and not a lot of people want to go see a movie for New Year's Eve. Altogether, though, it's sitting pretty well. Even in the international markets, China's still pulling in some big box numbers. You got all sorts of things going on here. I mean, it was projected to just make 6.5 million, gain that, but it made an additional 90 million over the weekend. But there was other movies that came out. Other movies that did relatively well. Well, one did relatively well, and one really didn't. Puss in Boots, though, also came out over the weekend, starting off pretty dang well. With a $51 million opening. Not a bad score. I don't know how much it needs to make to break even. Knowing that it's a Universal film, knowing that it's an animated film, knowing that it's a kids' film, it'll probably make it. We're still in the Christmas year, so a lot of kids and parents and things like that are still going to be taking people to the movies all week long. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Still don't know, but Puss in Boots, I think, will do pretty darn well, especially when you take a look at its tomato score with a 95% from critics and a 93% from audiences. It's a pretty darn good looking movie. I might actually have to go see it, even though I have no kids, and it'll be weird. You even look at like the Christmas Day box office. Came in plus 109%. Like, it gained a whole lot of people. Granted, this is the day over day. But still, it gained a whole lot of people over on Christmas Day versus the other 2 days, other 2 weekend days. And it started off pretty darn strong. Bringing in the numbers that it needed for domestic, and then the international markets, a lot of people are doing it, and France is one of the most people that like this movie the most. Well, with all that being said, we do have another movie that came out over the weekend. Babylon! Oh, Babylon. Babylon. I went to the theater. I kid you not. I didn't even know this movie was coming out. I went to the theater. I'm at the theater, and I'm waiting for my friends to come by so we could see the movie together, because I didn't want to see Avatar 2. Not a fan of Avatar. Don't really care if it wins or fails. I wasn't impressed. Don't hate it, don't like it. Anyways, I was sitting there in the theater, and I was walking around, and the next thing I noticed, there's a sign that says Babylon December 23. I'm looking at it, and I'm like, what the hell is this? Is this from last year? Never even heard of this movie. Why does it have this very large box, mind you? One of those big stand displays that try to help tell people, hey, this movie's out, go see it. You had Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie. You had some interesting other people that are on this whole, very pretty, I'm not going to lie, it's a beautiful pictures on this box. But it didn't make money this weekend. No, it came in with a $3 million box office takeaway. Why do I think that's interesting? This was the Christmas weekend. This is when a lot of people go to see movies, and when you take a look again, Puss in Boots might be a kids movie, might be more of a family-based movie. Domestically came in with $18 million. Avatar: The Way of Water, sitting at $86 million. That's worldwide, but even domestically has $261 million. It'll probably cross the $1 billion mark by the end of the week. Next weekend will be interesting to see. Still don't know what's going to happen, but we're looking at some good marks here. But Babylon. Babylon doesn't look like it's going to do very well, especially considering it has a 56% in the critics rating, meaning it probably isn't that awful of a movie. Read some of the reviews. People weren't impressed. They said it's more front heavy than back heavy. But audience say it's 48%, and I usually trust the audience score a little bit more than I trust the critic score. All that being said, Rotten Tomatoes is a weird market, so you can't really fully go off Rotten Tomatoes. A lot of this is the I can't say it. Not algorithm, but they're brought down. So this is like your average scores. Although Variety brings up some interesting numbers here with this headline. Box office, Avatar 2 scores $90 million over holiday weekend. Babylon bombs at Christmas. Man, that has to suck. When you go over to the box office news, how much money did it bring in? Well, it came out Friday, brought in million. Saturday, not Sunday. Saturday was Christmas, not Sunday. Sunday, it brought in, well, I said it again. Saturday, it brought in small money. Granted, that was Christmas Eve. Probably, well, no. Christmas Eve, people still go see the movies. People still do stuff. Then you come down here to the 25th, brought in another $1 million. So basically copied its opening release date. Not a good start. Although Variety brings up some interesting things here. Far away from Pandora, the R-rated Babylon. That's part of your problem. It's R-rated. Directed by Damon, I'm not even going to try it. And starring Margot Robbie and Brad Pitt. These are powerhouse people. These are, Margot Robbie's decent. Brad Pitt, though, Brad Pitt's a powerhouse. That's not somebody you want to mess around with. Brad Pitt, like I saw the Bullet Train. Fantastic movie. I love Brad Pitt in it, but Brad Pitt's a powerhouse, and to see that he's in a bombed movie again isn't that good. Bullet Train didn't bomb, by the way. It did relatively well. All things considered, he's been in some bombs before. Bombed with $3.6 million for a 3,343 venues over the weekend, and $5.3 million through Monday. The film's especially terrible start, as well as its C+ cinema score from audiences, suggests that even with the winter blues, the 3-hour and 9-minute long Babylon may not resonate on the big screen. That's a 3-hour and 9-minute long movie. Well, this is an issue that a lot of movies are starting to come into. Quit making them so frickin' long. Avatar: The Way of Water. It's doing relatively well. Very long movie. I went to go see it. Again, I wasn't impressed. I'm probably not going to go see it again. I was sitting there watching my clock, looking at my watch, because I wanted it to be over. I was not a fan of it. I was not enjoying it. That movie is freaking long as well. Length is becoming a big problem in Hollywood. Ladies. No, what I mean is, you're starting to put out these massive movies that people might want to go see, but at the same time, they can wait to go see them on a streaming service. They can wait till they come out on DVD, purchase them if they want, and then pause them. They can stop them. They can rent them. They can do whatever they need to do to see the movie. But because you're making them so long, it's starting to suffer at the box office. Now, again, Avatar did relatively well. This, however, didn't. Granted, I didn't see all the marketing. I only saw a box. But this is when it starts getting into an interesting area that Variety points out. With it only bringing in like $5.3 million over the weekend. That's a problem because the movie cost roughly $80 million to produce and tens of millions to market. So, tens of millions, yeah, because it's usually, I want to say it's half this or a quarter of the $80 million to make. So, it has it could possibly make its money back, but it has a long way to go. I think it needs to make roughly $100 million to make its money back. If that's my rough guesstimate, might be a little bit more. Not starting off to a good start. meaning the Oscar, hopefully, will become a money loser unless business picks up in the coming days. The film's international release in late January should help ticket sales, but barring a reversal in fortunes, Babylon may be the lone blemish in Paramount's otherwise unexpectedly stellar year at the box office, with hits ranging from Top Gun Maverick to the creepy thriller Smile. Well, it happens. Not every production company, especially Paramount, even though I'm not a huge fan of Paramount, they have put out Top Gun Maverick. I want to say they're working on the new Transformers. I'm indifferent to that. We could still see some interesting stuff happen here. I don't want to completely cut Babylon out, but at the same time, Babylon needs to make a lot of money before it can even break even. I don't even know if it can do that. It has a long way to go. And like I said earlier, this upcoming weekend is New Year's Eve. That's not really a time when people go see a movie. New Year's Eve is when everybody's gathering up the food, gathering up the beer, gathering up the fun stuff, and throwing a New Year's Eve party, staying up all hours of the night waiting for that ball to drop. If you're in the East Coast, if you're in the West Coast, you're waiting another 4 hours for that ball to drop. After that ball drops, things just go on. But more people are gathered around having fun, waiting for that kiss on midnight, than going around and watching a movie. So I don't know what the future for Babylon's going to be. I don't know what the future for Puss in Boots is going to be. Really don't know what the future for Avatar is going to be because it's already blown way past my initial projections. I initially thought it was barely going to eke out $1 billion. I think it'll hit $1 billion, might hit 1.5. I don't know if it can hit $2 billion. I do not know if it'll hit the mark that it needs to make. With all that being said, guys, hope you had a wonderful Christmas. Hope you liked the video. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below on whether you think Avatar will make it to its $2 billion or whether you think Babylon's even going to make its money back. Just leave that comment down there. Share the video out if you liked it. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video and go live. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.